Manchester United have a second meeting with Lecce today to complete the Patrick Dorgu deal. The player has agreed personal terms, wants to join United. Everyone around him is pushing for the move, but will Manchester United up their bid to meet Lecce's price? It seems that way. Manchester United ready to part ways with Hojlund, AC Milan interested. We will discuss the latest on that. There's also a couple other stories going around about Man United teammates not rating Hojlund, but I'll probably discuss that in my live stream tomorrow with you guys. I'm going to wait for more details on that. We're just going to get into the transfer news in today's show. Cunha, £70 million exit price confirmed. Could he replace Hojlund, or is he more of a Garnacho replacement? There is also links to Victor Osimhen. Could Victor Osimhen be Hojlund's replacement? Not sure why I didn't include Osimhen in the breakdown. We will be discussing him. The latest on Marcus Rashford, Douglas Luiz, a couple loans and more. So hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to your 10-minute Manchester United roundup, where we're going to discuss all the latest Manchester United news coming out today and just round it up into a 10-minute video for you guys so you're up to date on all the latest news. So let's start with this story on Patrick Dorgu. Manchester United will make a revised offer for Patrick Dorgu today. It's what's been said by Simon Jones and a couple other sources. I don't know if that's guesswork because we're having a meeting for him today, or we did have a meeting for him today, but it seems that way that they will be. Patrick Dorgu's entire family have been in Lecce since Thursday, and this is not normal for the player. Dorgu's parents are pushing for the move to United. This was said via Sole Lecce via Sport Witness. Sources I'm not familiar with. The MUFC MPB Twitter account, or X account as you call it these days, found that information, so go check them out. And it was also said by Fabrizio Romano that Manchester United are in direct contact with Lecce for Patrick Dorgu again today as planned. The deal is on and personal terms are agreed with the players. So Romano confirmed there's contact, there's a meeting going on today. The personal terms is agreed with the player. Essentially, we just need Manchester United to bid closer to the 34 million mark that Lecce like. I think that, look, if it was any other club, the deal happens for 25 million. Unfortunately, because it's Man United, they're going to ask for 34 million. But I'm hoping that we can probably get that deal down to maybe 30 million max, including add-ons. But I want to talk quickly about the Hojlund news. Then I want to talk about Matheus Cunha. It has been said that Manchester United are prepared to sell Rasmus Hojlund if they receive a suitable offer, either in this window or in the summer. AC Milan and Juventus could both move for him if they fail to land their preferred options. There's also some interest in Hojlund from the Bundesliga. Now, Mark Ogden, in my opinion, isn't the most reliable source of information, and he does sort of put out news like only Saudi want Marcus Rashford, this report, that report, and I think he sometimes puts on news to jump on a bandwagon of negativity. If there is negativity around the player Rashford, he'll write a report about Rashford leaving, so and so with Hojlund. Obviously, Hojlund's not been good enough lately. There's a lot of negativity around him. We'll discuss that more in tomorrow's live stream. But he's saying Manchester United are prepared to sell Rasmus Hojlund if they receive a suitable offer, either this window or in the summer. Now, I actually think that Mark Ogden is probably right with this information, though, although he's a journalist I'm more skeptical about, because I remember him writing a report, I think it was him, even a month or two ago, that Hojlund is not safe. And we know that nobody at United is really safe. Maybe Ahmad's probably the most safe out of all the players, and players like Hojlund and Maino and Garnacho that were seen as the three untouchable players in the summer by Ineos, and all sin is touchable now if the right money comes in. And I think with Hojlund being on an offloadable wage, this is his second season. Berard is very much like, you've got 2 seasons to prove yourself, you're out. I think United would consider offloading Hojlund, because while I think Hojlund could become a really good player in future, Manchester United needs someone that's ready now, and I just don't think he's ready now. I think if the system was complete, we had the wing-backs, we had the midfielders, he had more service, he was able to run the channels and run in behind more, I think the Hojlund, would be showing what he showed last season and getting the 16 goals. And if Hojlund was progressing from last season, or at least showing what he showed last season with the 16 goals, I think the ball would be more behind Hojlund. But the fact he's only got 2 goals this season, he's really struggling. And the fact that his touch and hold-up play is being a lot better by Xerxes, you can understand why Manchester United would be willing to offload Hojlund. I like Hojlund. I think he can become a good player. But I think what United did is they should have signed Hojlund for half the price, and they should have spent the rest of the money on bringing in the top striker like Kane for Hojlund to learn off, so that when Kane left, Hojlund could learn the way, because we were signed off the back of a 9-goal season as a 20-year-old. I don't know why we spent 72 million on him, but he's never been the finished product. You've got to look at the top strikers at Hojlund's age. Other than Haaland, not many of them were top. but he's not offering enough. And I think if he's not offering enough, he's going to be up for sale. And if a big price comes in, he also may say, let's accept that and spend it on Gyökeres. Or could it be Matheus Cunha? Because a 70 million deal to sign Cunha has been revealed. So let's dive into this. Manchester United are on Cunha's trail. It would require 70 million for Wolves to continue selling. I think in summer, if Wolves stay up at 60, if Wolves go down at 50, I think if Wolves right now in January, it's probably closer to the 70 million mark, which is kind of like as good as Cunha is. I always just think, 70 million pounds, probably a fair price when you look at what we paid for Hojlund, but he's probably a 60 million pound player. But it's been because they're a Premier League club, they inflate the price rules because it's generally the price is inflated. But it has been revealed that it would take a 70 million deal to sign Matheus Cunha. Unless you get 70 million for Garnacho, I wouldn't do it until the summer. I like Matheus Cunha. I probably think 60 million is the most I'd pay for him. For me, in summer, if you could get Cunha and Gyökeres for about £105 million combined and have Ahmad, Cunha and Gyökeres front three, we're in a really good position. We have proper left wing back, proper right wing back in. We get another centre back in. Maybe we trigger the hoist and release goals. That'd be great. And then we get, I think obviously we only need the one centre back because Mazraoui can go to right centre back there. And then we potentially get another midfielder in for depth. We'd have Collier, Bruno, Maino, Agati, and another midfielder for depth that could play in the midfield. We'd be in quite a good position. I don't know if United will make a move for Cunha. If Garnacho goes, if Hojlund goes, I think we make a move for Cunha, but I think we only make that move for Cunha if someone goes. Do you know what I mean? I think right now it's Anthony out, Lecce, Dorgu in. If Rashford goes out on loan, maybe we go for Nkunku on loan. I think whatever happens would depend on Hojlund, would depend on Garnacho. So what is the latest on Alejandro Garnacho? Yesterday, Manchester United informed Napoli that they will not sell Alejandro Garnacho for less than 65 million euros. It's up for Napoli. Again, this was through MUFC MPB. They seem to find loads of good, well, I don't know if they're good, but they seem to find sources from all over the world. And they were the first people to actually find the Diego Leon news. Like MUFC MPB, they seem to know every single source. They were the first people to pick up the sources from South America reporting Diego Leon, which then got reported by the mainstream media the next day. They're finding all the sources sort of in the Napoli Italian region, and they're claiming that United formed Napoli. Look, 65 million euros, it's not going to happen. And I think Napoli know that because that's a fair price to ask for. I think Napoli know that. I think Napoli just don't want to pay up, but I think Napoli will realise either we get Adeyemi or we get Garnacho. And what Napoli have realised is they're in the Serie A title race. United obviously trying to sell Rashford and Antony. Garnacho isn't a priority to get out of the door. So while it's also January as well and there's not many replacements, I think Napoli know that they're going to have to pay up for Garnacho if they want him, because while Manchester United are used to being mugged off in the window, this is not one where we're going to compromise. And it was said new contacts are expected to take place between Napoli and Manchester United for Alejandro Garnacho in the next few hours. So there could be a bit more in regards to Garnacho to Napoli tomorrow by the end of the window. As Amorim said, he just doesn't know. But I think Garnacho, with the way he's been playing and the desire he's showing, probably wants to stay. It was also said that sources say Manchester United would consider a move for Victor Osimhen if a season on loan at Galatasaray could be transferred to another club during the transfer window. However, Napoli would only consider this if it meant a permanent transfer. But a permanent deal was not a priority for United, with Napoli rivaling Chelsea for Alejandro Garnacho this month. Creative negotiating could open up. I think if Garnacho leaves and you can't get Cunha in, there would be talk about bringing a Victor Osimhen in on loan to the end of the season. I think if something happens with Napoli, he could be part of this deal. The way I see it is if Garnacho leaves, maybe having Nkunku on loan as part of the deal. Or if Garnacho leaves to Chelsea, if Garnacho leaves to Napoli, maybe Osimhen comes in as part of the deal. But again, I think this all relies on Garnacho going. I think if Rashford goes, could be a potential for an Osimhen loan, but I think Garnacho, you're going to get the money for. So one to keep an eye on. In terms of Marcus Rashford, it was said that he's taken a step to join Barcelona as he's willing to lower his wages. Barcelona apparently have informed Rashford, though, they will not complete the move unless they sell anyone. Rashford willing to lower wages. I think United are quite desperate to get him out. I think the deal will happen, but I think it will happen on deadline day. It was also said per Samuel Luckhurst on his Manchester's Red podcast that the relationship between Amorim and Rashford is unsustainable. Amorim wants Rashford to leave. Rashford himself wants to leave. I mean, I think it doesn't take a genius to figure that out. And Rashford's camp have been pitching him as a striker to West Ham and Spurs. I don't believe that bit because Rashford himself knows his best position. It's sort of left forward. And I don't think Rashford would want West Ham. No offence to West Ham. Obviously, Lingard did really well there, but Lingard it was a bit different. If Rashford wants to get back in the England squad, I know that worked for Lingard, but I think, no disrespect to West Ham, but they're not in a great position. Although I think he could do well under Potter. Probably not the club for them, particularly as a striker. Last but not least, it was said United are in the wings for Juventus midfielder Douglas Luiz. I actually don't think we'll get him, and I don't think we are, but it could be one to watch. And then by Rich Fair, United still hope to send Harry Amos and Dan Gore out on loan before deadline day, but some updates say that Harry Amos is more than happy to stay. He's still young, still developing, and he may not go. So that's all the Manchester United news rounded up into 10 minutes. I hope you found this breakdown useful. I will be live tomorrow around 11 a.m. Thank you for watching. Bye.